Hello, everyone. Thank you for being part of the Feminine Archetypes series, where we talk about love, relationships, and how the feminine and the masculine connect, and most of all, knowing ourselves. So, we talked the last two workshops about the girl and the lover, and today we are talking about the queen. And the queen is the archetype most women think they need to become. But for many of you, you are already there and you are trapped in it. Have you ever noticed then that some of the most successful women you know are also some of the most exhausted ones? Not because they are failing, but because they are succeeding. They're capable, responsible, independent, reliable, the women everybody calls on when they need help, the women that everybody assumes they got it all together. And yet, these are the women that quietly keep asking themselves, why does everything feel like it depends on me? Why is it so hard to relax? Why does love feel harder than it should? Are there even men out there that can be my match? And just what is going on? So, I want to tell you just briefly also that the biggest thing that many of the queens are asking me during sessions and workshops is like, is there hope for me in love? Because they are so capable in everything else, but they cannot figure out what is happening in the love department. So most of you I know in this have built wonderful lives, but underneath it all, there is this tiredness. And not tiredness of doing what you love. Usually you excel in this. It's that hope tiredness, relationship tiredness, and just this frustration of not being able to figure it out. And today, we'll talk all about this and how to actually what you need to figure out. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start welcoming the live participants in the workshop. And if you're watching the recording, just bear with us for a second and we will continue in a moment. Hello, lovelies. Welcome, welcome, Amy. Welcome, Tanya. Yes. How are you ladies doing? Yes, okay, okay. So I want us to start right away. We are talking about the queen today. So in the last two sessions, we talked about the girl, the lover. Today is the queen. And a lot of women think that they need to learn more about how to be queens. But actually, we are, most of us are trapped in the queen and we don't know how to let her loose and how to invite more of the other archetypes. So let me mm, make sure that um, we are all here. So let me know when you hear the queen, what qualities come to mind? When you hear the word queen, what qualities come to mind? Let me hear you. When you hear the queen, like strong, independent, successful, confident, a leader, what does come to mind when we think about the queen? Welcome, Kristen. So, the question that we are starting with is when we think about the queen, what qualities come to mind? And um, if you want to put one word, two words, strong, independent, successful, knows her boundaries, confident, leader, or anything else, what comes to mind? We're going to use the little chat as always and just putting a few words there. And yes, royal, regal, someone who is the one who has the last say in decision making. Yeah, yeah, okay. Very good. Very good. And mhm, let me open the chat. Very good. So the queen is a wonderful archetype, and the qualities of the light queen are self-worth, standards, leadership, boundaries, responsibility, decision making, right? One of those. And it was so interesting when you were answering that there was no such things as playful, lighthearted, relaxed, receiving, joyful, right? So hopefully by the end of the workshop, we'll allow our queens to realize that they can be that as well, and at the same time, for all of the rest of our parts, the girl, the lover, the mother, will infuse some queen energy so that we really become whole, because it is never the point to become one archetype. It is more to understand them all and to draw from each one of them. So let's talk about like what quality of the queen do you admire the most? What quality of the queen do you admire the most? Maybe it's think about her strength. Okay, strength. Maybe it's her vision, her standards, setting strong boundaries. I love that. Yes, absolutely. That's very important. Grace, leadership. She knows who she is. She doesn't chase, she doesn't shrink. And maybe her key word is discernment. She doesn't say yes to everything. She knows her worth and acts from it. And the queen, the key thing is she doesn't lower her standards to keep someone. She raises her standard of what she will accept. So, if all these qualities of the queen are fantastic, why is it that so many queens are exhausted, alone, or in relationships that they carry everything? And have you been there? Have you been there where you felt like you're carrying everything, where you feel exhausted, where there is just like desire to rest or desire to such frustration that you want to shape everybody else into shape? Yes, yeah. Let me see. Yes, yes. There we go. So very, very good. Uh, Tanya, welcome. Yes, yes. So yeah, let's. I want to give you a little bit to break the teachings. I want to give you a little example of everyday living that I got to experience yesterday that is fresh on my mind. And I always teach from these little examples because I feel life happens in those little things that we can tweak. That's why in the mentorship program, we do the daily check ins because this is where the power of little tweaks stays in or happens. So I stayed over at my boyfriend's on Monday, and on Tuesday we wake up, we cuddle a little, and then we're like, it's Tuesday, it's a work day. So we got to get things moving. Let's have some coffee, get ready, do a little workout, and we go to do our work day. I am still upstairs and he goes downstairs and I start hearing this rumbling in the kitchen. And I'm like, we were supposed to be making coffee. So I come down in a minute and I see him like chopping chicken and broccoli. And obviously he's getting ready his lunch for the day. And my first thought is like, we were supposed to do coffee. Like, where's my coffee? Where's the Queen's coffee? The second, I look at him like everything is out there, and my second subconscious is like either wanting to help him or wanting to tell him how to do it better. And I find myself just this rising like emotions happening. And for a moment, I was like, okay, let's take a breath and see. I have some emails I can answer, some texts and stuff. Let him do his thing. Coffee, I can wait a little longer too, and just see what happens. And I stepped back. I took care of my emails. And within less than 10 minutes, uh, everything subsided in the kitchen. And I hear him, "You ready for your coffee?" And my first reaction was like, "Well, yeah, I've been ready." But then I responded, I said, "I would love some coffee." And then I went to him and I said, because I truly felt it, I said, "I'm just so happy and proud of you that you are making such a healthy lunch from scratch for yourself. And you did really good." And I wasn't really, there was no resentment regarding like, well, I've been waiting here or I could have done it better. It was just this true admiration that he felt. And I felt so good about myself being able to step back, to let him do his thing, to take care of himself, to see that he's capable plenty of taking care of himself, to see that I can be flexible and just wait a few minutes and just everything flowed. We went for a little run and took off to our work days. And I reflected back on this and I said, yeah, the more unhealthy queen in me would have really reacted in a very different way. And this is what happens when we tweak things at the moment. So I want to hear you and just tell me, have you had situations like that? Have you had just a quick yes or no? Did this resonate? Does that make sense of what we are teaching and why our initial reaction is to actually jump in, claim the schedule, show that we are great and capable and step in every time? Or are you learning to be What is kind of most alive in you when you hear this story? Send me a quick little message. Maybe even a quick resonated or didn't resonate in the chat. Because I want to talk next about where everything is coming from. Mhm. Let me see if I'm not seeing you. Mhm. I like the taking a step back and thinking before jumping into immediately what they could be doing better. Yes, yes, yeah. Because I tell you, I grew up with my mom, who was, the leading force in the family. And it took me a long while. And of course, my ex-husband was very similar. But for her, she truly believes that her opinion and her way is the only right way and the best way. And such strong belief, which, from one side, I am all about trusting ourselves and believing in ourselves. But from the other side, when, of course, our strongest qualities are also our biggest weaknesses, she absolutely cannot hear, comprehend, or understand any other options. So, of course, this is the Queen Shadow, or one of the shadows. And let's talk a little bit of what are the core wounds of the queens and where does this more masculine way of leading and living life comes from. So the first thing is that we learned that being capable is keeping us safe. One of my queens, after the girl and the lover archetype, said, I have totally lost the girl, and the lover is coming here and there. But I know why this happened. It was because from very young age, I had to hustle. And often we are hustling because we either had to take care of, had to even like take the place of our mothers or save our mothers in some way or take care in some way of the family or even go and start a job when we were 12, babysitting and then bartending, and all these things. And from very little age, we lost that girl somewhere. Like a parent wasn't reliable, a family that needed you to hold it together. You had to be the good girl. You were rewarded for performance. And you learn that if you do not handle things, things will fall apart. And that little girl in you is the one who became very strong. So just ask yourself for a moment, when was the last, or the first time maybe, or the first time where, oh, first time, so periods where you had to figure it out yourself when you were very young. How old were you when you became the responsible one? 9? And was it because what was briefly the situation? hmm What was, Amy, briefly the situation? Yeah, yeah. They just, was it mom, dad, money, other family, brothers, siblings that you had to take care of? Put it there in the chat. hmm
It's in the chat. It says mother's mental illness.
Oh,
I don't
let
know
me
why it's
see
maybe
for.
it's
Oh, I am kind of not seeing it for some reason. My chat, this mother's mental illness. Yes, yes. Thank you. I will be able to see now better. Let me do this. Ah, there we go. There we go. Now I see it. Um, yes, absolutely. This is like one of those that definitely immediately helps, makes us step up. And very good. So the second big thing that we learn is that we are confusing leading with loving. The queen leads at work, leads at home, leads in relationships, but leadership and love require different energies. In love, leading all the time means no one gets to lead you or to allow you to rest and receive. And the queen who leads everything has never felt what it is feels like to truly follow, to trust, to let someone else hold the map for a moment, hold the driving power. So how has it been in relationships? How has it been where have you had to lead the relationship, the tender moments, the conversations, even the dates? Um, I know with Kristen, we went through quite a bit of discussing these things. And yes, yes, it feels like you are the one that needs to do everything, and he just kind of tags along. And really, the it is so beautiful when we are able to just drop in what we want and allow the masculine to step in and fill the space. Mhm. I think I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, send me just something that has been in the past, maybe. Um, something that you are not have not been satisfied having to plan dates always. Uh-huh. My husband and I agreed for all the years that I would lead in love. that has over time led to my mental health being impacted, although it was very sweet and kind on his part. Oh, I love this. I love this so much because it is, yes, we women in general are the leaders of the relationship. We're designed, the feminine is designed to care more, to lead more in the relationship field. However, that doesn't, that, let's a little bit clear or figure out what does it mean to actually lead in love. And Amy, I want to dig a little deeper, like how did it impacted you? In what way? What were you feeling that you were not getting or had to do too much? Because it's normal for us to just initiate, and our job is to initiate. The thing is that we don't want to initiate every single time, like always plan the dates. And the other thing is initiation. A lot of pressure to initiate and to feed what felt like increasing needs for, yes, yes, yes. Addictive type, increasing needs for an addictive type personality. So here we are entering, you're probably also having quite a bit of the mother archetype because the mothers are the ones that start really taking care of our partners and truly carrying the emotional weight of the relationship. And this is where things become absolutely most difficult. So, what is it that the queen can do? What is it that what has helped? What has helped so far? Because some things maybe you have already figured out, and what has been helpful to possibly, or maybe you're like, I don't know what to do. I just, I am at this workshop because I have no idea what to do. Or maybe you have found some little moments, some things that have helped. Because I remember for me, bring up ideas to the partner and allow space for them to plan. Absolutely, absolutely. So this is, remember my little Tuesday story, how I just needed to step back and then, although things did not work out exactly by my plan, they worked out perfectly enough and allowed him to step up, to take care of himself, and also a moment longer invite me for the coffee. And I even told him that he makes the best coffee and it was worth the wait. Um, so this is very, very important. But I remember that for the longest time, um, when I felt something emotional needed to be resolved, I would be the one to step up and ask questions, dig in, try to get the answers. Um, like I felt he wanted an answer, but actually it was me constantly digging and picking and trying to get the answers and to lead the conversation. So the point is to just learn to trust. And Amy, very important so that you're separated right now because of the addictive traits became too much. So coming back to the strong qualities of the queen, so it's very interesting how we are mashing the dating world and the already in a relationship world because we are both learning the same principles just from a different lens. So the queen in the dating, she steps back, she initiates, she steps back, and then she waits. And there are two outcomes. One, he will step in and he will create the date, he will create the experience, and it will flow as it's gonna flow. And you allow yourself to receive whatever is flowing. Number two, you initiate, you create the space, and he didn't step up. He doesn't step up. So if he doesn't step up, what do we do? What does the queen do if we initiate it, we created the space, and he's not stepping up? And Amy, think about maybe even in relating not only with your husband, but with any other situation or men or even, previous experiences. Tell me if he doesn't step up, what does the healthy queen do? And if you're like, I don't know, give me a sign. Like, I don't know, tell me what am I supposed to do? Tell me what I'm supposed to do. Do we poke more? Do we ask more? Yeah, Kristen is like, no, no. Uh-huh. I've been trying to be heard, and that has not worked. Then I separated, but my health required me to bring him back. Okay, okay. I will address that in a moment. For now, I want to close this thread. So the discernment of the queen is just to observe. She observes, she sees that there is no stepping up, and she has a decision to make. Is she going to beat the dead horse, or is she going to step away and trust that there'll be another man and another opportunity much better and much more suited? Yeah, so this is the healthy queen. And Amy, as far as being in the relationship and being in something that absolutely does not work and does not serve us. So I am sure that throughout the years in this relationship, you have tried many ways and many things and bent yourself over backwards and did everything possible to see how you can improve things. And what it has come to is that separation. And this is exactly the same with the date. That when first, we need to try to step back and create space. And when that stepping back and creating space, whether we are dating or whether we are in a relationship, is not working and is not producing any kind of moving forward or moving in any direction, we need to have the discernment to step back, to let go, to just trust that something better, bigger, is going to come our way. Mhm. We need to soften a bit. We need to, even sometimes, rather than, because the queen is more, she wants to whip in shape the other person. And what here is required is more softness and more vulnerability. That is kind of the third wound of the queen. So, if the first one was that she learned that being capable kept her safe, the second one was she was confusing leading with loving. The third one is that she fears that softness means losing power, that if I am vulnerable, I'll be taken advantage of. If I receive, I owe something. If I show him I need him, I lose my independence, right? So, in all the spaces, we also, it's okay to show some honest vulnerability. Like maybe in the date, you just say, hey, you not responding to me, maybe this is your style of texting and stuff, but I really kind of was disappointed that you didn't respond for a week and a half, and now you're sending me this message like nothing has been lost. Now, of course, it depends on what stage we are in the conversation and in the dating, but just a little bit of humanness and vulnerability adds incredible amount of openness. And in relationships that we've been for a long time, one of the tantric exercises that I have learned was called like full body listening. Because often we fall into this prescribed ways. The person across from us haven't even said anything, and we already expect and think we know that they are what they are going to say, and we fall into these traps of expecting and not moving anywhere. So just a little bit more openness and vulnerability is where the queen really starts getting some traction and some healing. Mhm. So talk to me a little bit more of how what is this happening? Because how is this sounding? What is coming up for you? Because often, like one of my queens, we had this masculine match session, the session that I do after this series that we look at you individually. And the first thing, she's just such an amazing woman, capable, smart, living the best life. And yet, the first thing she asked me is, Sunny, is there a hope for me? Are there men out there that really can be my match? Yeah. So this is the queens and all of us women who has fallen into a more of a, like, I call it horse with blinds, a type of visioning. Yes, yes, Amy. So Amy says, this sounds good. I guess sometimes I feel like it's more like whining or being too harsh. Ah, very good, very good. You nailed it. You nailed it. Because these are our two the two opposites of how the queen that is learning how to be in her healthy queen archetype does. So we are either feeling like we are whining that our standards, because a healthy queen has, these are my standards. These are the ways that I operate. This is what works for me. And she's so embodied in those that she doesn't need to apologize for them, explain them. There is this strong internal belief in her that this is it, this is what I deserve. So anything is expressed neither in a whining way, neither in you are so fed up that you want to smack him. Right? So this is what we are learning in the queen, to build those standards from the inside. And often, this is the biggest healing that happens in our mentorship, in our sessions, because I can kind of tell you 50 times here what a healthy queen is. But unless we dig deeper into what had happened in the past and where this is coming from, just things don't move. You stay stuck. You intellectually understand it, but there is no real change in life. So, Kristen, I tend to expect a lot from people. So when they don't meet my expectations, I get frustrated, but it's not fair to them. So I definitely resonate with what you said. So let's see, Kristen, where do you think those high expectations toward other people come from? And Kristen, I'll unmute you. Let's unmute. And there you are. So expecting a lot from people. Why is that? Who expects a lot from people?
So it's probably my own perfectionism and my own wanting. I have high expectations for myself.
Nailed it. Yes. 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 So yeah, we have high expectations for others as well. But what do you feel has changed in you? Can you think exactly regarding? I don't think we spoke in our sessions exactly regarding that, but if you feel for a moment, can you notice, have you softened a little bit more toward yourself and toward others?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it is. I've definitely softened a lot and let them be themselves because I'm letting myself be myself in a way. So, kind of learning that, you know, yeah, it's okay not to perform at the highest standard, just flowing with what, I enjoy and maybe, yeah, not, yeah, I guess just letting it flow instead of trying to control, I guess, everything.
Yes. Yes, and what I think for you, one of the biggest examples that we went through, and you reframed it yourself, is the woman that triggered you, the one that is in your program, the one that was so, you know, absolutely embodying her authentic queen that it triggered you at first. And tell us now.
Yeah. So now it's, yeah, completely different how I feel with her. We have developed this friendship. There is more an admiration too. And I've told her that. And I think that kind of even softened our relationship even more to kind of, tell her that there are qualities that I really respect instead of being, yeah, kind of put off by them. yeah, it was just a trigger. It wasn't, anything, yeah, that I didn't like. It just was like, oh, I would like those qualities. And I don't feel like maybe I have those. So I was getting mad at her for no reason or, upset. So yeah,
Yeah,
now. Mhm.
because what really was happening is like you judged her because she was very different from you, and yet what you loved about her is how embodied, how like confident was she in who she was. And it's not that you wanted to be like her, but exactly what you said, the qualities that she embodied. The yes, yes, and I interrupted you. I got so excited about it. Uh, but yeah, I just love, love, love how often what triggers us, what gets our attention is what we need to embody the most. Very good, very good. Let me see what else we have. So, what I want you to kind of remember, there are many things. The Queen workshop can be 3 hours and we can't even touch where we are. But I want to, like, for you to first think this week as we are moving, as you're moving through this week, to just notice like who, number one, and you can write this down, who triggers me or who am I judging, and why would possibly that be? Who triggers me? Who am I judging? And maybe digging a little deeper of why this could be. That's number one. This is the Queen's high standards and perfectionism, right, that are showing up. The second one is I want you to notice every time you say, it's fine, I got it. Ask yourself, is this strength or is this armor? The fear of showing vulnerability and weakness. So write this down. Every time you say, it's fine, I got it, I want you to ask yourself, is this strength or is this where I'm just afraid? It's like an armor. I'm afraid to be vulnerable. I'm afraid to receive. I'm afraid to ask for help. Because, the queen wants a king, and the king you want, whether it's dating, where it is in shifting the existing relationships, they are looking for a woman who they can, in love, lead, protect, provide. That doesn't mean that we cannot be queens in the rest of our life, in our careers, in our homes, but we want to create the space for the men to also show up for us. Mhm. And it's not just men. You can test this for everyone. Maybe a girlfriend wants to help you. Maybe there is somewhere where you can just relax and receive a little something from someone. Very, very good. And of course, girls, as we talked, there are so many. Notice how we come from different backgrounds. We have different stories, a slightly different wounds, let's call them, that got us to where we are. And I really love, love, love to be able to um, respond to the person individually. And I feel this is such an incredibly beneficial session. So that's why the masculine match, I call it, but it can be anything addressed for you personally right now. It is only $27, and usually my sessions are 175. And we address this personally. We dig a little deeper and we get to know. You will get so much clarity out of this. And of course, mentorship is also available, but this session is key to just get a lot of insight, insight and see what is most helpful to you. Are there any parting notes? Anything? You wrote your homework, Queens? Yes, yes, I know, I know. Continuously learning, yes. So send me a quick thank you or something or any last. Thank you, Amy. Yes, yes. Thank you for your uh, questions, feedback. Kristen, as always, I'm so proud of you. And it is a continuous refinement and learning as we're working together, plus this session. So very, very good. And Tanya was joining us, but I think she was in the car and couldn't respond. So, and a lot of women have signed up to listen to the recording. So I will see you girls next week for the mother archetype. This will be also a very powerful one, and it will give us like a whole woman view of yourself and where you can enliven some things and let some things go. Yeah. Okay. Mwah. Lots of love. Yes. Have fabulous rest of your day.